Welcome back to M&S. With St Pat's having suffered defeat against Bows on Saturday, Sligo Rovers had the opportunity to consolidate their position third in the table if they could get a positive result against Dundalk. Dundalk received a boost before the game with the news that Ross Gaynor and Daniel Kearns had signed new one-year contracts at the club. Eamon Donoghue was at Oriel Park for M&S.
4 wins from 5 had made Dundalk suddenly upwardly mobile again, and Tom Miller looked to give them an early lead. But he didn't look hard enough. Ian Foster couldn't believe his eyes. Matthew Blinkhorn's vision was 20/20 less than 3 minutes later when he struck for the opener. Blinkhorn's return from injury has boosted Rovers' season. That was his 3rd in 4 games. The last time Gary McCabe played here, he was sent off, but on Saturday afternoon he was in altogether more focused mood, drawing a foul from Wayne Hatswell that earned the defender a yellow card. Dundalk's previous game, a win over Galway, saw the Tom Miller long throw-in utilised to good effect, and it unlocked Sligo's defence, allowing Ross Gaynor to celebrate his new deal with the equaliser. That brought a reaction from the visitors. Gavin Pearce should have scored, but somehow missed the target. It didn't look any better through their lenses. Richie Ryan has grabbed some spectacular goals this season, but Peter Cherry has also made some spectacular saves, so it remained 1-1. But that was about to change, and McCabe was going to play his part, nipping past Hatswell and hitting the deck in the process. Deemed a second yellow by Connolly, and Hatswell was off. Much to Foster's bemusement, a harsh booking perhaps. Dundalk's misery compounded when Ryan showed Peter Cherry who was boss this time to make it 2-1 at the break. Within 10 minutes of the restart, Ross Gaynor equalised from a similar position, perhaps better. Not they cared, however. Now, what's that old expression about teams being vulnerable just after scoring? Dundalk were about to learn it within 2 minutes, and again Foster felt hard done by. Gary McCabe going down under Gary Breen's challenge. Tom Connolly awarded a penalty. Breen appeared to get something on the ball, but not enough purchase for the referee's liking. That's 4 successful penalties in his last 5 matches for Alan Keane. But Gaynor was still a threat. At the other end, ghosting past Keane. It took some heroic defending by Gavin Pearce to prevent Dundalk from snatching another equaliser. Paul Cook introduced Conor O'Grady and pushed Joseph Ndo further forward. He found plenty of space in front of the back 4, and what he didn't find was presented to him. Gaynor and Miller getting it all wrong, and Ndo made it 4-2. Well worth the journey east for the loyal Sligo fans. 4-2 the final score. Sligo move ahead of Pats into 3rd, but afterwards Foster had plenty to say about the game's big turning point.
I think it's an awful decision. 39 minutes into the game, my left back's had 2 tackles. The first one's a foul and it's a yellow card. The second one's not a foul, but even if it is, it's not a yellow card. I'd like to think that in 40 minutes you're allowed 2 tackles. You know, going to Daily Mount is never an easy trip. We're a good side now. You know, we've got a lot of confidence. We're on a great run. We pass the ball and we play. And as Pat will say to you, and probably will up to the game, we'll actually go and try and win the game. And I think that's a credit to my club and my players that we'll actually go to Bohemians and try and win the game.
Yeah, it's the Cup next weekend. Big game for Sligo Rovers. That was a big game as well. They're now 3 points clear, Colm, in 3rd position. Ian Foster wasn't happy about the Hatswell sending off. What was your thought on that?
I thought it was a bit harsh, to be honest with you. The first one is a booking. I think the second one is a free. I think Ian Foster was saying that, you know, possibly isn't even a free. I think it was a free, but you know, he doesn't even go off his feet. He just sticks his foot out to try and get a touch on the ball, and your man does pass him out. Shows that, you know, shows him a clean pair of heels. And, you know, there's not really any serious contact there. So I think Ian Foster's definitely right to be upset about it.
Kind of put an end to Dundalk's good run of late. We heard Eamon saying they're 4 wins in 5. For Sligo, though, they're doing very well, aren't they?
Well, they're probably one of the informed teams in the league at the moment. And, you know, they do playing the right type of football as well. They play some great stuff. I thought I was a bit worried for them in the middle of the season when Amond was sold to that Portuguese side, because, you know, he was the person getting most of the goals for them. But, you know, they have other players who have stepped up to the plate. Ndo, Blinkhorn have come in with a few goals, and they're getting goals from other areas. Like, obviously the defenders are obviously chipping in with a few as well. So it's going to be interesting to see what he does in the off season. I mean, I think they still are a little bit behind Rovers and Bows, but you know, in the off season maybe you can bring in a few players and really push it for next season.
Okay, Colin, thanks.